Hi everyone, Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and thank you for joining me today, which is day 6 of your 7-day yoga challenge. So today we are focusing primarily on the lower body, and we're going to be stretching and lengthening all of the muscles through the legs and the hips. So you won't need anything, just yourself and your mat, and whenever you are ready, let's begin. Okay everyone, so let's begin today at the back of our mats and just melting down into our child's pose. So toes together, knees apart. Start to reach the fingertips forward, melt the chest, the forehead down towards your mat. And just take a few deep breaths here in your child's pose. And if this is your first child's pose today, or if this is maybe the morning that we are practicing, we might already start to feel a really good stretch for the back, for the hips. So just taking a few deep breaths here. And then whenever you are ready, we're releasing out of our child's pose and we're going to come up into a tabletop position on our mats, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and we'll just start to open the body with some cat-cow. So inhale to look forward, point the tailbone up, exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, we roll forwards, look forwards, drop the belly. Exhale, chin to chest, round the back. Nice, just continue on here, just moving in your own time, with your own breath. Giving your body the time to open up. And we'll take one more round of breath here, an inhale and an exhale. And then we'll meet back in our tabletop with our nice neutral spine. And we're going to do the same thing again, only this time we're going to tuck the toes under. So tuck your toes onto the mat. Start to send a little bit of energy towards the feet. So start to press into the toes and press into the palms of the hands. And same thing, inhale to look forwards, drop the belly. Exhale, chin to chest, round the back. Inhale, roll forwards. Exhale, chin to chest, press into those toes. Take a few more rounds exactly like this, just starting to feel a deeper stretch through the soles of the feet. And then after your next full round of breath, we can meet back in our tabletop pose. And then we're going to walk the hands back towards the knees, sit the bum back on top of the heels, and we find our toes pose here. So this can feel quite intense for some people. If it does for you, just give yourself a break whenever you need to. But if you're still with me, we're going to separate each toe so that every toe has a little space on the mat. And we're just going to breathe into this lovely deep stretch that we're going to be feeling through the toes and through the feet. If we want to increase the stretch a little bit, we send the weight slightly further back. And we just take a few big breaths here, breathing down towards the feet. Let's go for one more breath. And then release forwards, come back into tabletop, untuck the toes and just give the feet a little pad on the floor. Nice. From here we come into our tabletop and we stretch the right leg away. Tuck the toes under on the mat and just start to find a little bit of a rock forwards and backwards. So just gently opening up the right hamstrings. And every time we rock back, we really want to think about pressing the heel towards the back of the mat. Stretching out that right leg as long as we can. And the next time that we press our weight back, we're going to stop and we're going to hold it here. Really spike that heel towards the back, lengthening out the right leg. And then come back through center. Nice. From here, we're going to send that right leg out towards the side. And we want to have the toes pointing forwards here. And we can have the foot wherever it wants to be. So we can have it up in line with the hand if we want. We can have it back towards the hip, just wherever feels right for your body. And then we're going to start to take a little rock once again forwards and backwards. So stretching through the right leg a little bit differently this time. We're going to feel that stretch through the hip and through the inner thigh. This doesn't have to be a huge movement. It can be a very small movement. And then the next time that we have the bum back, we're going to stop and we're going to hold. Take a few breaths here. Let go of any tension through that right leg. And then bring yourself back up through center. And keep the left hand on the floor and inhale to reach the right hand up. So we are twisting towards that straightened leg. Nice and open through the chest. Take one deep breath here. And then right hand back to the floor. We're going to bend the right knee, bring the knee onto the floor, and we're going to start to send the left leg back. So drop yourself to your belly, drop to your elbows, and come into this half froggy position with the right leg. So we want to keep this 90-degree bend through the knee, and we want to keep the knee in line with the hip. And then if we need stillness, we can find stillness just by staying right here. Or maybe dropping the head on top of the hands. Or maybe if our body is craving a little bit of movement, we might come onto the hands here and inhale to lift up and exhale to slowly lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So finding stillness or movement, just whatever your body needs. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then come back to center. We're going to press up onto the hands, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, and step back into your high plank. Take an inhale here to roll forwards. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Possibly our first downward dog of the day, so maybe pedaling out through the feet here. Finding some movement. Coming back into stillness. And then slowly release the knees down towards the mat. Come back into your tabletop. Nice. From here, we're going to send the left leg away, tuck the toes under, and we're going to start to take that little rock forwards and backwards. So as we rock the weight back, we are spiking the heel towards the back of the mat. We want to feel this stretch through the left hamstrings. And then hold it here, really lengthen out through that left leg. And then come back to center. We're going to release that left leg out towards the side, just as we did on the opposite side. And from here, we're going to bring the feet wherever you want it to be. So the feet can be slightly further forward, that can be a little bit further behind, but we once again take that rock forwards and back. Left toes are pointing forwards. We're going to try to keep the left knee straight. The next time we have the bum back, we're going to stop, we're going to hold. Again, maybe not the easiest position to relax into, but think about releasing any tension from the left leg. Breathing into the left inner thigh. One more breath here. And then come on up, back to center. Keep the right hand where it is and inhale to lift the left hand up. So expanding the chest here, stretching through the left fingertips. Take one more breath. And then return the left hand back to the floor. We're going to drop the left knee to the floor, keep it out towards the side, and then start to walk the right leg back. We might drop to the elbows, we might drop to the belly, and then again just check in with that left knee. So the left knee is bent, the knee in line with the hip, and then either finding stillness in this position or maybe coming onto the hands and inhaling to lift. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Take one more round here. And then press yourself up onto your hands, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and then step both feet back into your high plank. Inhale, roll forwards. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a breath here, and if the knees are bent, we want to think about maybe starting to straighten the knees just a little bit more. It doesn't mean we have to straighten them completely, but just starting to work the heels a little bit closer towards the mat. Taking one breath here, and then looking up towards the hands and taking a hop or a step or a jump or whatever. Towards the top of your mat, we meet in a forward fold. Just letting the upper body dangle down here. And then slowly roll yourself all the way up and coming all the way into standing. When we get here, we can take a few big rolls through the shoulders, just releasing out the upper back. And then coming back into stillness. Nice. From here, we're going to either bring the hands onto the hips, or we can bring the hands behind the back and take hold of opposite elbows. So just whatever feels nice or better for your body. We can be here or here. We're going to keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back, and we don't want the stance as wide as it would be in a warrior two. We want it probably half of that. So we want the right toes pointing forwards, the left toes are on a little bit of an angle, and we want to keep both hips facing directly forwards the entire time. Inhale, we're going to stand up straight, straighten both legs, and then as we exhale, we're going to fold forwards. And as we fold, we're keeping both legs straight. If we feel like we need to bend the knees, that's your cue to stop. So we're folding over that front leg into your pyramid position here. And just take a few deep breaths. This is a really deep stretch for the hamstrings. If it helps with the balance to release the hands down towards the floor, we might be here. Take one more full breath. And then slowly press into the feet, lift yourself all the way up through center. Turn all the toes to face the left-hand side of your mat. We might take the feet a little bit wider if we need to. Take an inhale, stand tall, and then exhale, find your wide-legged forward fold. Again, we can either keep the hands behind the back or we can release the hands onto the floor here. Just taking a few deep breaths into the backs of the legs. And then come all the way back up through center. This time we're going to turn our left toes to face the back of our mats. We're going to have the right toes on that little bit of an angle. We're going to stand up nice and tall. Both hips are pointing towards the back of your mat. Hands on hips or towards the back, holding opposite elbows. Take an inhale and exhale. Slowly fold forward. Keep both legs straight. Breathing into the hamstrings here. Fold your body down over that left leg. Stop when you need to. Release the hands to the floor if you need to. One more breath. And then slowly press into the feet and rise all the way up to center. Release the hands, step both feet together and inhale to reach the hands up. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Plant the hands and step both knees back into your tabletop. So we are back in our tabletop. We are facing the back of the mat this time, and we're going to find our pigeon pose. So start to draw the right knee up towards the right wrist, and then we're going to open the right toes towards the left-hand side of the mat. We're going to start to slide the left knee back, and we're going to drop just as much as we can. And if this becomes a little bit too much, we can always place a pillow or a blanket in underneath the right bum cheek if we need to, just to keep the hips level. But just find a little bit of stillness here. So we might stay on hands, we might drop to the elbows, we might bring the forehead to the hands. And we're going to take just a few deep breaths here. Notice if you are holding on anywhere in the body, especially maybe through that right hip. Breathing here, letting go. And we might take our last few breaths in our pigeon pose, so you can stay where you are. If you would like to try something maybe a little bit different, we're going to move into either a mermaid pose or a variation of our mermaid pose. So if you want to come with me, we're going to come up onto the fingertips here, and we're going to start to turn towards the left. We're going to reach the left hand back towards the feet. And we may stay here. To go a little bit further, we might bend the left knee and maybe try to take hold of the foot. So this is almost step one, if you like. So if you want to stay here, we can stay here. Maybe we start to find a little bit of a stretch through the left quad muscles here by bringing that foot towards us and then letting it go. And if this is feeling pretty good, we might try to hook the foot onto the inside of the left elbow. Reach the right arm up and over. Maybe see if we can make contact with the other hand. And breathing here. Keep the chest nice and open. Keep the shoulders rolling back. Take one more full breath. And then slowly release the hands, release the left foot back to the floor. And then from here, bring that left knee back in, untangle yourself, and sit your bum back into a child's pose. Taking one full breath here. And then come back into your tabletop. We're going to do the same thing other side. So this time we're going to draw the left knee towards the left wrist and then open the toes towards the right hand side of your mat. And I'm just spinning here so that you can see me a bit better. You can stay exactly where you are. We're going to walk the right knee back, start to drop the hips, and then just find a little bit of stillness here. So maybe we stay on the hands, maybe we drop to the elbows, maybe we start to bring the forehead onto the hands. But just finding stillness here, maybe beginning to notice if this side is a little bit tighter than the other. Directing your breath into the left hand hip, the left hand side of your body. And then if your body needs and is enjoying this stillness, you can stay right here. If you want to find that mermaid variation on this side, we might bring ourselves up onto our fingertips. And then we're going to start to twist towards the right. We're going to reach the right hand back towards the feet. And we might stay here. If this is enough, stay here. Maybe we start to bring a bend into the knee. We might kick the foot up towards the hands. And again, we might stay here. Maybe we want to start to find a nice stretch through the front of those quad muscles by bringing the foot towards the bum and release. And if this is all feeling good, maybe we want to hook the foot onto the inside of the right elbow, reach the left arm up and over, just see if we can maybe find a bind with the hands and hold it here. Keep rolling the shoulders back, keep the chest open, don't let the head collapse forwards. Everything is open, we're breathing deeply. Take one more breath here. And then release the arms, release the foot back to the floor. We're going to walk the right knee in, send the left knee back, and take your last child's pose. If it's comfortable, keep the knees together this time, just so that we can get a slightly rounded sensation through the low back. Release the forehead, reach the fingertips either forwards, or we might take the hands alongside the body. Just for our last few breaths here. Take 3 full and deep breaths. And then whenever you're ready to release, we can slowly start to lift the head, lift the shoulders, and bring yourself up into a comfortable seat on your mat. And thank you so much for joining me today again, which was day 6 of your 7-day yoga challenge. If you have liked this, please give it a like. If you would like to see more, please subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for day 7. Namaste.